Also going to be talking about Jurgen Klopp heading back to management and where do you think he should go. But we're going to start off with Liverpool. It may not have been the best season for them, but it's starting to look like they will get Champions League football, which will be huge for them in relation to yet another rebuild, maybe under a different manager. Well, they've been linked to what I think is a fantastic signing for them if they make it this summer. And you have to look at it and go, well, why wouldn't they? Murillo of Forest. A couple of reports coming out this morning. But first of all, remember, Gravenberch has signed a...
In That's Football video, Mark Goldbridge talks about the latest transfer news involving Liverpool FC. He explains that even though Liverpool haven't had their best season, qualifying for the UEFA Champions League could be very important for their upcoming rebuild. He mentions transfer links with Murillo from Nottingham Forest and says it could be a smart signing because Murillo is young and talented. He also highlights problems in Liverpool's squad, especially attacking issues, suggesting that Mohamed Salah might leave and the club may need to replace him. Overall, the discussion focuses on Liverpool's squad rebuild and potential transfer plans.
New contract for them yesterday. I mean, why wouldn't he do that? But that has to be seen as a positive for Liverpool. Now, there are so many holes in that team. I think that having watched them last week, certainly, and against Wolves in the league, Salah and Gakpo, you could argue it's like playing with 9 men. I mean, they're just not up to the level.
Now, after hearing that discussion about Liverpool, I think there are some really interesting points to debate here. On my channel GoalLine Debate, one thing is clear. Liverpool are entering a very important summer. Yes, this season hasn't been perfect for Liverpool FC, but if they manage to secure UEFA Champions League football, that completely changes the direction of their rebuild. Champions League football means better finances, bigger transfer targets, and a stronger chance to convince top players to join the club. Now let's talk about the player mentioned, Murillo from Nottingham Forest. Personally, I think this could actually be a very smart move. Murillo is young, aggressive, and very comfortable on the ball. Liverpool have always succeeded when they sign defenders who are still developing but have huge potential. Just look at what happened when Virgil van Dijk arrived from Southampton FC. That signing completely transformed their defense.
The level that Liverpool need, and I think their big priority this summer is going to be finding a place for Salah away from Liverpool and then a replacement for him. Let us know where your thoughts would be on that, because I've got some. But as I said, this morning, Murillo, again, being linked to Nottingham Forest. I think that being linked to Liverpool from Nottingham Forest, I think...
Murillo may not have the same reputation yet, but the profile is similar. A young defender stepping up to a bigger stage. But the bigger debate here is actually the attack. The suggestion that Mohamed Salah might leave Liverpool is massive. Salah has been one of the most important players in the club's modern history. If he does move on, Liverpool won't just need a replacement. They'll need someone who can bring goals, creativity, and leadership to the front line. So in my opinion, Liverpool's summer will depend on two things: strengthening the defense with players like Murillo, and planning for the future in attack if Salah eventually moves on. Because if Liverpool get those decisions right, this rebuild could actually push them straight back into competing for the biggest trophies again.
I think there are obviously hopes that Isak will turn out to be a good signing and Wirtz will turn out to be a good signing, but I still think they're lightweight up front. I think they do probably need 2 wide players. Midfield, has that been up to it this year? And centre-back. And what you...
In this part of the That's Football video, Mark Goldbridge continues discussing the potential transfer of Murillo from Nottingham Forest to Liverpool FC. He explains that Murillo has the qualities to succeed in top teams like Arsenal FC or Manchester City FC, meaning he could easily fit into Liverpool's system. Goldbridge also raises concerns about Liverpool's defensive future, mentioning contract situations like Ibrahima Konate and the aging of Virgil van Dijk. He argues that Liverpool must invest heavily this summer, not only in defense, but also in attack and midfield. According to him, signing players who are already adapted to the Premier League, like Murillo, could help Liverpool immediately strengthen the squad.
What you want to do this summer, if you're Liverpool, is bring in players that are ready to hit the ground running. And look, Premier League proven's not everything. Multiple players have come into the Premier League and been brilliant who aren't Premier League proven. You look at the likes of Haaland and Rodri. So you can do that, but I think as we've seen at Man United with...
So continuing the discussion from the previous clip, the big question now is whether Liverpool FC really need to prioritize a defender like Murillo this summer. On GoalLine debate, I actually think this is one of the smartest directions Liverpool could take. When you look at their squad right now, the defensive situation is something that can't be ignored anymore. Yes, Virgil van Dijk is still a world-class leader at the back, but realistically he's not going to be playing at the top level forever. Liverpool have to start thinking about the next generation of defenders who can step into that role in the future. And that's where Murillo becomes very interesting. He's already shown in the Premier League with Nottingham Forest that he can handle the intensity, the physical battles, and the pressure of English football. For a young defender to come into such a competitive league and immediately build a strong reputation says a lot about his potential.
Cunha and Mbeumo, with someone like Murillo, who has had, a baptism of fire in the Premier League, really, going into Nottingham Forest and coming out of it with a reputation as a very good centre-back, you give them a role at Liverpool with the experience they've got and the gears that they can go up to, I think they become them.
Another point that shouldn't be ignored is squad depth. If there are uncertainties around players like Ibrahima Kone, then Liverpool simply cannot afford to go into another season without strong defensive options. But at the same time, Liverpool's problems don't stop at the back. As mentioned earlier, there are still questions about the attack and even the midfield balance. Rebuilding a squad like Liverpool's is not just about one signing. It's about bringing in players who can immediately improve the team. And that's why players who already understand the Premier League can be so valuable. You don't need a long adaptation period. They can step in and start performing straight away. So if Liverpool really are planning a serious rebuild this summer, a move from Murillo could be one of those transfers that quietly becomes a very important piece of the puzzle.
I feel like Liverpool, you're replacing Mo Salah, and a youngster who's never played in the Premier League might not... I think Liverpool, there was talk of Rodrigo. Obviously, he's got a very bad injury now, so it won't be him. There's obviously talk of Michael Olise.
In this part of the That's Football video, Mark Goldbridge continues discussing the transfer rebuild at Liverpool FC. He says Liverpool must strengthen not only its center back, but also on the right wing, especially if Mohamed Salah leaves the club. He mentions possible options like Michael Olise and discusses how Liverpool lost attacking impact compared to last season when players like Luis Diaz were producing big numbers. Goldbridge argues that Liverpool need a winger who can consistently deliver goals and assists because the current output from players like Cody Gakpo and Salah hasn't been enough this season.
I think Michael Olise is arguably the best winger in Europe. Have that debate. I think he's incredible. The ironic thing is they've also probably got the other best winger in Europe in Luis Diaz, who, brilliant goal on Friday night, by the way, if you didn't see it. And you can't complain for Liverpool losing that player.
So building on the previous discussion about Liverpool's rebuild, another huge issue that cannot be ignored is the right-wing position at Liverpool FC. On GoalLine debate, this is where I think the debate becomes really interesting. Because if Mohamed Salah eventually leaves Liverpool, replacing him is not just about signing a winger. It's about replacing one of the most productive attackers in modern football. For years, Salah has been the player delivering the goals, the assists, and those big moments in crucial matches. So if Liverpool are planning for life after Salah, they need someone who can bring similar attacking numbers. One name that keeps coming up in discussions is Michael Olise. And honestly, it's easy to see why. Olise has incredible creativity, excellent dribbling ability, and he's the type of winger who can completely change the rhythm of a game. Players like that are extremely valuable in the Premier League.
He clearly wanted to move on, but if Liverpool had Luis Diaz, I think they'd be in a title race. And people will laugh at that, but Liverpool, you give Liverpool another 10 points, they're technically in a title race anyway. And I think Luis Diaz would put the numbers in that Gakpo and Salah haven't this season. So Liverpool need that type of player. Now, obviously, Luis Diaz is not...
But the problem is that players with that level of talent usually cost a lot of money. If Liverpool want to compete again at the very top, they might have to make one or two huge signings this summer. Another important point is the attacking output Liverpool have lost compared to previous seasons. When players like Luis Diaz were performing at their best, Liverpool had multiple attacking threats. Defenders couldn't just focus on one player. But this season, the numbers from players like Cody Gakpo and others simply haven't been consistent enough. So for me, the biggest challenge in Liverpool's rebuild isn't just the defense. It's making sure the attack remains dangerous. Because if Liverpool managed to bring in the right winger who can produce goals and assists regularly, they could very quickly return to competing with the best teams in England again.
I think they do need to spend big, Liverpool, this summer, which is why the Champions League is so important for them. Sticking with Liverpool, Jurgen Klopp looks like he is going to be back on the manager market this summer. I don't think that means he's coming back to Liverpool, but literally his team have spoken about Real Madrid, and this is what they had to say, essentially saying that...
In this final segment of That's Football video, Mark Goldbridge continues discussing the major rebuild that Liverpool FC may need in the upcoming transfer window. He suggests Liverpool could spend between £300 to £500 million to strengthen multiple areas, including winger, centre-back, and possibly another forward. He mentions transfer options, such as Michael Ollis and Anthony Gordon, as potential attacking reinforcements. Goldbridge also shifts the discussion to the future of Jurgen Klopp, whose representatives have responded to rumors linking him with managing Real Madrid CF. While nothing is confirmed yet, there are also strong rumors about Atletico Madrid, suggesting Klopp might return to management in the near future.
I had it down here somewhere. God, why is it not there when I literally had it? Basically, he's former Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp's representatives say what is being said about negotiations to coach Real Madrid are just rumours for now, and that nobody has contacted them at this time. So it's not closing the door on it, is it? They're rumours for now.
So after everything we've discussed about Liverpool's squad and transfer needs, the final question is just how big this rebuild will actually be for Liverpool FC. On GoalLine debate, I think it's pretty clear that Liverpool cannot afford a small transfer window this time. If they really want to compete again for the Premier League title and the UEFA Champions League, they may need several major signings across the squad. Replacing Mohamed Salah alone is a huge challenge. Players like Michael Ollis or Anthony Gordon could definitely add quality and energy to Liverpool's attack. Both players bring pace, creativity, and the ability to create chances in tight games. But the reality is that top-level players like that usually come with a very high price tag. And that's why qualifying for the UEFA Champions League is so important for Liverpool. It gives the club more financial power and makes it easier to attract world-class players.
Nobody's contacted them at this time. Also, strong rumours about Atletico Madrid. Maybe Klopp fancies that a little bit more because it's a little bit, less headline than Real Madrid or Barcelona. So it looks like Jurgen Klopp could be heading back into management this summer. I don't know whether Jurgen Klopp and Real Madrid's a good fit. I don't.
But another fascinating story connected to Liverpool is the future of Jurgen Klopp. After everything he achieved at Liverpool, many fans are curious about where he might go next. Rumors linking him to Real Madrid CF are definitely exciting, but honestly, that move could be complicated because of the expectations and pressure that come with managing a club like Real Madrid. Interestingly, Atletico Madrid might actually suit Klopp's intense style of football even better. It's a club known for passion, energy, and strong team spirit, qualities that Klopp has always built his teams around. So the next few months could be huge not just for Liverpool's rebuild, but also for Klopp's managerial future. Because whether it's big transfers at Liverpool or Klopp returning to the touchline, this summer could shape the next chapter of European football.